Hello everyone, this is Ricardo Lund, head engineer of Rakoon Sound Studios, and we want to welcome you to another episode of our Tips and Tricks show, where we show information about our equipment and how we use it in the studio. Today we're going to be talking about the Ableton Push tool, which is an essential tool here in the studio. It's basically a controller for Ableton Live, which allows you to access all the features in Ableton. So without further ado, let's get right into the review. Alright, so as you can see, we have the Ableton Push 2 right here in front of us. It is a pretty nice looking device, pretty sturdy as well. The build construction is superb. The pads feel really good. They're a big improvement on the Push 1, and the knobs also are really good. The screen especially is beautiful. It shows you a lot of information that you need to see. So this device basically allows you to access almost every feature from Ableton directly from the device without touching the computer. So I'm gonna make a quick little idea and along the way show you some of the basic functions of the Push. You can do a million things with this, but I'm just gonna show you the basic ways to use it. So you can see that we have an audio track here in a default Ableton template, and we're gonna start with some drums. So for that, we're gonna add a track. We're gonna add a MIDI track and drums, and we're gonna select a drum kit from here, from the many drum kits that we have from Ableton. So let's see which one we like. We have so many to choose from. I think we're gonna go for a Lindrum LD. Okay, so we have loaded up a drum kit, and first thing you should know is you have these two very important buttons which allow you to toggle between session, which lets you see the clips that you have recorded, and notes, which allows you to see the instrument in which you're selected. So for the drums, we have these three modes. The first one allowing you to see what drums we have here, the length of the loop here, and the sequencer. Second is for the instrument that you're selected, you can play it at different velocities, and then the sequencer. And the third one, you have a main layout of all the pads, you know. This is more for finger drumming. This kit only has 16 sounds, but I could load these up with loads of more samples so that you can finger drum between them. I think it's really big for finger drummers. So we're gonna go to the basic layout where we have the loop and the drums and the sequencer, and we're gonna start laying down a basic groove. So with this, I've created a one bar loop, and as you can see, it starts sequencing. And I'm gonna start by putting some kick drums right there, and we're gonna go for some snares, some hi-hats on the eighths, maybe an open hat there, take that. Then we can double that loop, and it will create a copy in the second bar. So we can enter another snare. Excellent. Then we can add maybe some extra hats. And then maybe two close hats. We can also change the velocity of these if we go to clip here and bring the velocity down. And then we can also quantize that. Well, we can first enter some So as you can see, I entered some notes manually by pressing the record button and recording, and we can quantize that. Now we can also, on the quantize, you can see if I hold it, we get all the different features that the quantize has to offer, including the grid into which we're quantizing to, the percentage of quantization, and we also have this very handy swing control. So we're gonna add a little bit of swing to this. So it feels a little more organic. We can duplicate that loop again. And on the fourth measure, I'm gonna add an extra kick and make it 4 bars again. Alright, so we have a basic drum groove. Now I'm gonna add some bass to this. So again, add track, MIDI track. We're gonna select a bass from operator. So instruments, operator, and let's check out the bass presets that we have here. So let's use this housey bass for now. Now when you load up an instrument, you get the keyboard mode or the notes, and it sets it by scale, but you can change the scale here. Right now we're in a C major scale, so we could go to say G minor scale, and you have plenty of scales to pick from. So you can also have it in chromatic mode, where you get the notes that are off the scale as well, which are unlit, but for this review we're gonna keep it in key. So we're gonna come up with a quick baseline idea. I'm gonna bring the octaves down by pushing these buttons. Okay, so simple bass, whatever. So we recorded that. As you can see, I kind of like went past what I was supposed to go, and we can go to the clip and we see that we recorded actually a 5-bar loop. So we can make this 4 bars actually. Now it's can quantize that. So now we're gonna add some keys to this. We can also bring the volume down in both things a little bit, so we're not clipping on Ableton. So perfect. So again, we're gonna add a device, a track, add track. We're gonna go to MIDI track. Again, we're gonna select maybe instruments and maybe this electric. We're gonna add some keys to this. So we're gonna add this kind of Rhodes sound. And now I'm gonna go up the octaves. As you can see, to play a triad, this is gonna be the root note of the scale. And you have the first, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, and an eighth up. We can also play it like this. So different ways of playing it. I like to keep in this little square. So you can do inversions as well. So we're gonna just enter 2 chords. Say we didn't like that, so we can always press delete. Alright, so we're gonna do that. So again, press record. there we go. Have a little chord progression right there. Now we're gonna add some pads to this, so we're gonna add track again, and we can select MIDI track, instruments. This time I'm gonna go to the wavetable and I'm gonna get some pads from this. So we're gonna add that, try how that goes. If we don't like it, we can also press browse and we can pick another effect. Gonna try that. Okay, that's cool. So we're gonna get on the device, and as you can see, you have a pretty detailed view of the device and all of the parameters. If I press this wavetable thing, we're gonna be able to see all of the sections of the synthesizer down here. So you have control over everything. Like I said, it's pretty cool. So we're just gonna enter chord progression to follow those chords that we entered before. So right, so we can stop and quantize that. And now that sound is a little too bright for me, so we're gonna add a little filter. So to do that, we just add device, audio effects, auto filter. Just gonna set the basic presets, and we're gonna cut off some of the highs. We can also go on the mix and bring that a little lower. We can also send some reverb. I have a big reverb on the Send C. As you can see, you have volume, pannings, and the send controls. So I'm going to send a little bit of reverb to that. We can go back to the device and clean a little more of the high end. We can also change the filter type. Alright, now if I go on the session view, now we can see that we have a bass, a pad, chords, and a beat. So I can open up the beat, actually, the drum rack, and there was this cowbell that was a little too loud, so if I go on mix, when I press volumes, can bring that cowbell a little lower. Alright, cool, so we can close that down again. Now let's add a little melody to this. So to do that, we just go back on the notes, and we're gonna add a new track, and we're going to add MIDI track, instruments, we're gonna go to analog, and we are going to select maybe a guitar sound, maybe on tension, and we can add like a guitar. Let's say I want something pretty plucky. Okay, that'll probably do. Cool. So go up the octaves. So I can add a little melody. And I have to say also that besides on the instruments you have, besides this view where you can play the things live, you also get a sequencer. In here you have the root note, the white note right here, and then you have the other keys, and you move octaves with, so you can see the keys that we have entered. We can go up and down the octaves by using this. Now we also have this, which press layout again, we have this cool view where you can pick the notes and enter in the sequence. So, and we move, if we press clip, we're gonna see and we can, by moving page, we're looking where we're adding. So say we want to add this note to this part. Can raise the velocity, bring the velocity down of that one too. Right? And the screen shows everything. So we can now add a little bit of delay to that, maybe. So descends. Probably bring the drums a little higher in volume. Cool. So we have get into a basic groove. Now finally we're gonna add a lead, so add track, instruments, and we're gonna go to an operator, lead sounds. We're gonna add like a subtle lead to this. So let's try that. Go back to notes. Volume down in that a little bit. So let's record that. Like that, we can delete always. We can try a new one. And let's make it a little longer. Oops. Oops again, sorry. So you have that loop. We can quantize. Mention also about the no repeat function. So for example, if we change the layout in this, if we press repeat here, I'm not going to use it in this case, but I'm just going to demonstrate it. you can change value. Okay, so we got a basic idea going on. Now we are going to enter now an audio track so that we can do something with it. I think we're gonna load up some breaks for this. So I'm just gonna quickly turn to the computer and find some breaks so we can layer them over the drums. So I'm gonna go into samples that I have here, and we're just gonna select any sort of break from here. We're gonna add this to the audio track, right? So now we have an audio track with that loop, and we're gonna select that audio track here by pressing select and pressing that, and then we're gonna convert it to a simpler. Now I'm gonna delete the original audio track that we had, so we don't need it anymore. Now we have it in the simpler, and as you can see, if I play it, it's gonna increase in pitch and speed. But if we press simpler here and we warp this as one bar, now it's gonna change in tone but not in the speed, so pretty cool. And now we're gonna slice this, so we can slice it either by transient, by beat, by region, or manually. I'm gonna slice it by beat this time. So we can enter a little percussion under. We're gonna skip the snares. Alright, so we're gonna record that by hand. Quantize. It's just gonna add a little texture in the back. We can also filter that out within the device. Maybe if we go on filter and apply like a bypass filter on that. To give us a little bit of an extra drum texture over that, and we can go to the device also main and increase the volume of that on the global page, sorry. Cool. And finally we're gonna add a new audio track. So we're gonna go on mix, press here and add a new audio track. So maybe we're gonna add some vocal chops to this. So we're gonna add track, audio track, and we can actually also add these vocals now. So I'm just gonna go on default track as always. So default track, and then I'm going to add a little bit of just a simple a cappella or something. So if we go here and browse through some a cappellas, we're just gonna select any a cappella really.
I've got all this love waiting.
Okay, so we're gonna load that up, and we're not gonna warp the acapella to this. I'm just gonna use it to give little vocal chops out of it. So we're gonna select again this, and convert it to a simpler again. And if we move on the pages now, we can delete the original acapella that we had. We don't need anymore. We're gonna do it all in the simpler. So we are going to go back on notes to see the instrument, and we have, right, we're gonna go on the slicing mode again, and as you can see, we can do it by sensitivity, and it's a kind of like a quick way to find make the sensitivity a little more so the chops are shorter. We can transpose this so that it fits the track. So again, on global or on where was it? The transposition, it's gonna be on global if I'm not mistaken. Warp. Yeah, transpose. Okay, so we're gonna enter that. We can also change the envelope of that so that it doesn't, so it fades out a little bit. It's a little smoother. We can filter that up a little bit too. And now we can also get that lead and put a little bit of a chorus in there. So we add a device on the lead. Select the lead, audio effects. We're gonna put a chorus. And we can add a filter to that too. Actually go device and press on the lead so that the filter comes before the chorus. So add device, audio effects, auto filter. You can now also add some delay to that vocal chop. So we have a little bit of an idea right now, and we can start maybe building a quick sketch of a track. So what I'm gonna do is I have all these clips loaded up on the first scene, which make up my main loop of the track. And as a quick example, so that we can arrange something, we can duplicate this a few times and say we're not gonna start with the bass. And we're not gonna start with the pads. We're not gonna start with the vocals, not the lead, and not the little melody. Let's see how that works. That's cool. Maybe we can get rid of some of the drum elements in this. I can change color in the clips by pressing shift in this, and we're gonna change this to purple to know that it's a different drum, because we're gonna do some edits in this. So we're gonna select the clip, go on notes, so so we're probably gonna get rid of the hi-hats. We're gonna make it 1 bar only and get rid of the hi-hats. Right, and then we're also gonna go on one of these, select another one of these, and we are going to add a little bit of a shaker. We're gonna change color in this one because we're gonna edit it, so I'm gonna change it to pink. So select that clip, and I'm gonna go into the repeat function 16. So alright, quantize again so that it fits that. We can open up again the Lindrum and bring the volume down in that little shaker so that is really subtle. Or cabasa, I'm sorry. Okay, so that's gonna be kind of like our peak drums. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the Lindrum. We have an overview of all of them. Now I'm gonna duplicate this one like so, pressing the duplicating button and placing it where I want. And we're gonna have the other one right there until the middle. And in the middle, in this one, we're gonna create a little breakdown. So I'm gonna change it to yellow. Select that clip and probably make it 2 bars long. So and get rid of the kicks and probably get rid of the open hats. Enter some more. Fair enough. So you have a little break, and then we're gonna keep the chords in the second scene. Enter with bass line. We're probably gonna also duplicate the drums so that we enter with the bass line but not the full drums. Gonna get rid of everything else, so by pressing delete here. On the third scene we're gonna have the harp coming in, and the lead is gonna go away, the vocals too. I'm gonna duplicate this one here again so that we don't come in with the shaker after the break. And in the break we are going to get rid of the bass line, so no bass line. We're gonna keep the harp and these. We're gonna get rid of the lead, and like so. When we come to the first drop, we're gonna get rid of the lead. We're gonna keep the vocals, and when finally we get to the top of the drums, we're gonna delete the harp and the vocals, so we come in only with the lead, and then we're just gonna jam it out and see what happens. So I'm gonna press the first scene, and I'm gonna press record on Ableton, and we're gonna create a little arrangement by performing with the clips. So we're just gonna be pressing the scenes as the time changes. So 5, 6, 7, 8. We'll create a little break on the drums. Enter the break a little early with the drums. Create a little break, empty break with the drums. Breakdown. That wasn't the smoothest transition right there. I think actually in that one we're missing some hi-hats. We're gonna go back to the normal hi-hats. I don't know why I copied it without hi-hats. And we're gonna start creating an outro. We can also enable the automation here and automate some of the delay here for the harp. Start doing a little outro. So we got a little track right there. And then finally stop it. So yeah, that's pretty much how you would sketch a quick idea with the Ableton Push. As you can see, I really didn't touch the computer for any of this except for like selecting the samples that I wanted to use for chopping up. And as you can see, it's a pretty powerful tool. We use it here in the studio all the time. Either for working only with Ableton, but we also sequence our external synthesizers like the Juno and the Prophet and the Nord by sending MIDI from the Push. We have also tried sequencing drum machines and other things from here by using an external device plugin from Ableton. And it's quite an essential piece here in the studio. We use it, like I said, all the time. It's really nice for keeping away from the computer and kind of like getting into playing something that feels like an instrument. So totally recommend it for all Ableton users. That's our review on the Ableton Push. Thank you guys for watching this review on the Ableton Push 2. We hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel down below. Also, I'm leaving the website down below for you to contact us if you're in the Miami area and you need some help with music production, audio recording, DJing, studio time, etc. We're here to help. So this is Ricardo Lund, and I'll see you guys next time.